Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine giving anyone, really anyone, the power to invent digital tools. Tools that solve their local problems. Not just consuming tech, but actually creating it.
Yeah.
So today we're diving deep into how that vision is, well, becoming a reality in Latin America with this new platform called EON WealthWeaver.
That's right. And our source for this is a really interesting announcement. It details the initiative, how it's launching, what it actually is, and crucially, it gives some concrete examples of what people are already building.
Exactly. So our mission here is pretty clear. Figure out what WealthWeaver is all about. Understand this core idea of empowering, local creation.
Right.
And then really get our hands on those specific examples from the source. See it in action. It feels like it's really about giving people the tools, the agency to build economic opportunity right where they are.
Yeah, and what's particularly, I think, insightful from the announcement is that this isn't just another ed tech platform or some standard business incubator. It's framed more as a tool for, digital self-sufficiency.
Okay, digital self-sufficiency. That's a powerful phrase. So at its core, what is EON WealthWeaver? How does it actually work? How does it make that happen?
Well, at its heart, WealthWeaver is an incubator and entrepreneurship platform. It's designed around this concept they call AI-driven agent IPs.
IPs.
Yeah, the goal is to allow pretty much anyone, even someone with, zero technical background, to design these agents, own them, and then monetize them.
Hold on, agent IPs? What are we talking about here? Are these complex software programs or?
Think of them more like intelligent digital tools, maybe digital companions. They're specifically built to tackle real-world issues. But the key, really, is how they're built.
Okay.
The platform uses these code-free interfaces. It leverages AI and also XR, augmented and virtual reality tools to let people create.
Code-free. So you're saying maybe someone in a small village who has a great idea to solve a local problem but doesn't know the first thing about coding,
Yeah.
they can actually build one of these agent IPs.
Precisely. That's the whole idea. The platform is designed to take that local knowledge, the creativity, the understanding of the real challenges,
Right.
and give those people a pathway to turn it into something tangible, a profitable digital asset. It's about turning users into digital entrepreneurs and, importantly, social innovators solving actual problems.
That's huge because, a major barrier, especially in underserved areas, is often the technical know-how, right?
Yeah.
Or access to traditional training.
Exactly.
And the source material, it really emphasizes the ecosystem around this, too. It's not just the tool itself.
It does, yeah, and that ecosystem is critical. Because the tools alone, they're not enough, are they? You've got the no-code, low-code development tools. They mentioned things like the EON Entrepreneur Guide, Vibe Coder stuff to make creation feel intuitive.
Okay. And the XR part, how does that fit in? Building these agents using them.
Well, the XR integration seems vital for accessibility and also engagement. It makes the content immersive, it can be multilingual, and importantly, it adapts to whatever device you actually have. So a basic smartphone, a tablet, a computer, or even an XR headset if you have one. That adaptability is crucial, especially given the diverse tech access across Latin America.
Right. So you don't need super high-end gear to get involved. What else makes up this ecosystem? What else is supporting the users?
There's ongoing support, so training, mentorship. They mention leveraging EON's global network and expertise.
Okay.
And then, and this is what really turns creators into entrepreneurs, there's the marketplace and monetization system.
Okay. Tell me about that. How do people actually make money?
So once an agent IP is created, the platform apparently helps with its automated deployment and licensing. It's specifically designed, it says, to generate recurring passive income for that local creator.
Interesting.
They build a valuable tool that meets a need, and they can earn royalties as others use it. Plus, there's a focus on building a collaborative community so people can learn from each other, too.
Okay, so let's connect these pieces. The code-free creation, the XR, the support, the monetization. Based on the announcement, what does this really mean tangibly for communities in Latin America?
I think the biggest tangible benefit highlighted is just opening genuine pathways into the digital economy, specifically for communities that have often been left out.
Right.
It promises practical, relevant solutions for regional challenges.
Yep.
Think agriculture, health, education, sustainability, and solutions built by the people who understand those challenges best. Creators can earn that passive income. They develop valuable digital skills, AI, XR, digital business, and it fosters innovation that really comes from the ground up, from the community itself. And like we said, it works on devices most people already have, like smartphones.
This is where it gets really compelling for me.
Yeah.
Seeing how these ideas actually translate into projects that are already happening. The source lists specific examples of these agent IPs being developed. These are the aha moments, right, where you see the potential.
They really are. Let's dive into a couple from the announcement that really show how these agents solve specific local problems.
Okay.
First, there's the Smart Coffee and Crop Management Agent.
Okay.
Now, this is an abstract. It's designed for smallholder farmers. It gives them hyperlocal analytics, so information on climate patterns, pest alerts, soil health, all tailored specifically to their farm's location.
And how did that help them directly? What's the outcome?
Well, the aim is to give them actionable data they can use to hopefully increase yields, improve crop quality, maybe adapt better to climate change or market demands.
Makes sense.
And the source mentions XR-based training modules are integrated into this agent, so delivering best practices in an immersive, easy-to-grasp way that could be particularly valuable for farmers in more remote areas.
Yeah, I could see that. For practical skills, demonstration is key. What's another example that stood out?
The Bilingual Rural Health Navigator Agent. This one functions as a kind of health companion specifically for rural communities.
Okay.
It provides access to telemedicine links, offers health literacy content, basic health info, gives updates on things like vaccination schedules. And critically, it's available in local languages, Spanish, Portuguese, and they mention the capacity for indigenous languages too.
Wow, so breaking down language barriers, geographical barriers.
Yeah.
For vital health information.
Exactly. And like the farming agent, it uses XR. In this case, the source mentions simulations. These could help train rural health workers or maybe educate families on preventative care in a way that's more interactive, maybe less intimidating.
You can immediately see the potential impact of something like that.
Yeah.
Huge potential for health outcomes in remote places. Is there maybe one more that caught your eye?
The microfinance and inclusion agent is also really interesting, especially from that economic empowerment angle.
Right.
Its purpose is to connect micro-entrepreneurs with fair lending opportunities, maybe help establish alternative credit scoring methods that actually work for the informal economy.
Which is often locked out of traditional finance?
Absolutely, and provide accessible financial education. The source highlights that this agent uses AI tools to kind of demystify financial concepts, saving, borrowing, running a small business. And it uses XR guides to walk users through realistic financial scenarios. These projects, they feel powerful because they're not just offering a potential income stream for the creators, they're directly tackling really pressing local needs with solutions that are tailored for that context.
So when we step back and look at the whole picture here, what does this initiative truly represent for Latin America, according to the announcement?
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is that it's positioned as a clear effort towards democratizing entrepreneurship, fostering inclusive economic growth, but driven from within the communities themselves, not imposed from outside. The source actually quotes Dan Lajerskar. He's the chairman of EON Reality, and his perspective seems key here. He talks about empowering every community with the knowledge and tools they need to, well, literally create their own future.
Giving them ownership over their digital destiny almost.
Precisely. He seems to see Latin America's diversity, its creativity, combined with a platform like WealthWeaver, as opening the door for, waves of new digital entrepreneurs, people equipped to solve the problems they face daily, own the innovations they create, and ultimately drive prosperity across the region.
Yeah.
And those partnerships mentioned in the source with local universities, local organizations, those seem crucial too. They help ensure the training and support are regionally relevant, sustainable.
This deep dive really brings it home, doesn't it? How this platform isn't just about offering technology. It seems to be offering a framework for self-reliance, for localized innovation, powered by the very people who need the solutions the most.
Yeah, it shifts the focus, potentially. From just being consumers of global tech to becoming creators of local solutions. That's a significant shift in perspective.
So here's a thought, maybe to leave you, the listener, with. Building on this idea of democratized creation, if a platform like EON WealthWeaver focused on enabling local people anywhere to build digital solutions for their own challenges, if that could truly scale globally, reaching communities in every corner of the world, what kind of global problems might we see solved differently? And maybe what would be the biggest hurdles to actually making that level of distributed digital creation a reality everywhere? Something to think about until our next deep dive.